Hello everyone, Transformers Productions here, and as you can see, I'm doing a toy review on the War for Cybertron Trilogy Megatron figure. And not only that, it comes with a little actually a couple little Minicons. And judging by the backs of the box, their names are Pinpointer and Lionzor, I think is how you pronounce it. Might be wrong. But as you can see, this is a very, very interesting looking figure. I love it how on the side of the box it shows the Ark leaving Cybertron, which I did not know this. If you did not know, I did a toy review on the Receive toy, and on the side of its box had the Ark crash down to Earth. So interestingly enough, apparently, I mean, it makes sense for the series, you know, War for Cybertron, and then it would be the Earthrise series. So it makes sense. Them leaving Cybertron, them going to Earth. So it's very interesting. I thought, and I was just really thought it was awesome. All right, if I back this camera up a little bit, the other side has a picture of Megatron and the Decepticon logo. You can see the toy real well. This is the top of the box, the bottom of the box, nothing really too much to see there. But I think it's really cool, and I'm going to take it out of the package and show you everything inside. Anyway, I just took it out of the package, and I'm glad to say this Megatron is looking very, very good. I kind of posed it in a way I imagined Megatron would, with his cannon facing forward, although I would probably face this hand down to make it look like he's, like, you know, kind of like Iron Man, the missile launcher, he's having his hand down and he's firing. I'm going to have to say, I am really, really proud of the way this looks. And look, I'm even liking the design of how the Decepticon logo is faded. Now, some people may take that as it's being, like, the toy worn down. But actually, I believe it's intentional. I'm guessing. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's intentional that way. I may have to look on the box. But, yeah, it kind of looks like, judging by the look of the box, it's meant to look like it's faded. And I think that's a really nice detail. In the paint and the silver color of it, it looks just like how you imagine a real-life Megatron would look like. Now, I want to take a look at its accessories that comes with here in a minute. But so far, let's just start out with its sword. His sword looks absolutely incredible. Let me just set this up. Get a good look at it. I think it looks pretty good. And judging by the look of it, I haven't read much of the instructions yet. It looks like it could come into pieces, it looks like. I'll probably do more research into that here in a minute. But I think it looks really good. And some I learned from the instructions is that if you take off his, or actually it could attach to his cannon. Like this. And turn it that way. I don't know if it's meant to look like a giant sword or it's supposed to be like a giant harpoon. I'm not exactly sure just yet, but I will let you all know in a minute once I take a good look at the instructions. The only reason I haven't is because I'm just wanting to get through and show you its actual robot form first. And it looks pretty darn good if I do say so myself. Alright, let's take a look in the instructions. Or at the accessories, I mean. Alright, I was just looking at these little two Minicons that came with the figure, and I'm really happy with them. One of them is a Target Master, and the other one's an Action Master, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between an Action Master and Target Master is. I don't know everything about Transformers, but I do know a lot about, like, the Aligned Continuity family, like Transformers Prime and Robots in Disguise and things like that. Rescue Bots, I know a lot about it, but mostly the Aligned Continuity is what I'm familiar with. But the interesting thing is that these are Autobots, but they come with a Megatron figure. And, I mean, from the instructions, these two can combine or turn into weapons, and you could put them on Megatron and or any other Transformer I think you could have. And I'm about ready to show what they look like in their weaponized form here in a minute, but I want to show you all a good look at each figure itself. This one, Obviously, according by the name, it looks like he turns into some sort of lion, which to me it doesn't really look like a lion, but it is a cat of some or some species of cat of some type. And from the looks of it, this would be the tail, but it kind of looks like a giant crocodile tail on it, doesn't it? But according to the instructions in robot mode, it's supposed to look like this. But they both combine into weapons. Obviously, by the back of this, you can obviously tell this is going to be a sword of some type. This one, on the other hand, by looking at the front of it, it would be hard to tell what kind of weapon he would be. But look at the back with these, you can tell he's going to be some type of gun. I'm about ready to transform both here in a minute and put them on Megatron. But not only that, they come with these. It's supposed to look like little energy coming off of them, or how they move. We got looks like some blaster pieces here. I'm going to take a good look at them here in a minute. But until then, actually, no, I think I'll show you just about everything of them, except for how they move, for example. The pieces move really well. Of course, the elbows don't move. It's only the shoulder bits here. Same with the legs, so kind of disappointing there, but, I mean, they're small figures, so it's not even supposed to matter that much. Same with this this little one. Sorry, I can't get I'm tired. I got a lot of things to say. Same with this one. Its head on here could look up and down, but that's mainly part of the transformation, as you can see if you turn its head all the way around here, which I will get to in a minute. But so far, I really like the look of these figures, and I think it would fit well as Minicons to the rest of my team of both Autobots and Decepticons, which I will be doing videos on each and every one of them here soon. Alright, I just transformed both of them. Let's look at the Lionizer? It's the word lion, then I-Z-E-R. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'll probably have to look it up how to pronounce it here in a little bit. But he kind of looks pretty good in his blade form. It's a little hard to tell. I'm about ready to put him on Megatron here in a minute. But as I was talking about before with these pieces, this could touch right here and be used, made it look like he's slashing at something, like as the blade's motion movement. It's really cool. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks pretty good. Now let's take a look at Pinpointer. As you can tell, he's in his gun mode. Kind of looks pretty good. And his pieces are supposed to go here. Supposed to look like blaster fire. If I could turn these where they don't look like horns or something. There you are. Turning the gun sideways, kind of looks like blaster fire. Looks really good. I'm about ready to stick both of these on Megatron so you can get a good feel of what they would look like on a bot. Alright, this is what Megatron looks like. With both of the Minicons, at least that's what I'm calling them, Minicons, attached to him as his weapons. As we can tell, we got the blaster fire, and we got his sword, and I'm going to say, they look very good in his hands, which kind of confusing. According to the Wikipedia page, both of the Minicons I have in Megatron's possession right now are Autobots. So I don't know why he would be using Autobot, or why he would have Autobots on his side, using them as his weapons. Unless it was something similar to what happened in Robots in Disguise. In my opinion, not the best series, but whatever, some people like it. Or I'm talking about the 2015 Robots in Disguise. The original Robots in Disguise was pretty good. I'm talking about the 2015 version. But in the 2015 version, Megatron captured a bunch of Minicons during the war, and in his theory, if they combine together, it would grant the user tremendous power. But he captured the Minicons, and he was going to use them against their will. Eventually, Starscream set him free so he could use them, but they escaped, but eventually he got a hold of them later. But spoiler warning, if probably just spoiled it for you, I'm sorry. Anyway, I suggest go watching the show yourself, because probably I didn't explain it well enough, because there's some things I didn't explain, but I suggest go watching the show for yourself. It's a pretty decent series, but it could have been better. It's not as good as Transformers Prime, its predecessor, what the show is supposed to be connected to. But I'm not going to get into that now. I'm just going to say I'm really proud of the way Megatron looks with these Minicons. And I'm soon going to show you what he looks like in his tank form. This is kind of a long review, isn't it? Because it comes with so much of it. But I'm going to show you what he looks like in his tank form. Right, I'm back, and I transformed it into his tank form. We'll do a quick turnaround, and I'm really proud of it. It looks really cool. I use that word a lot, proud. I really like it. I think it looks very, very cool. It looks like a very futuristic tank, and I think it kind of would fit well in the series I'm trying to go for. I'm going to do above head review and see what y'all think of it. And there we go. That's what it looks like from over top. And I'm going to have to say I'm very proud of it. I think it looks very cool. I'm going to do a quick look down the barrel. Probably not the good idea to do in real life with a real tank. This is the back side of it. Top. And as you can see with the bottom of it, you can see Megatron's head and his chest at the bottom of it. But you're not really supposed to see the bottom of it anyway. But other than that, I think it looks really, really good. Something else cool, I think, is if you stuck one of the blaster fires from Pinpointer onto the front of him, or onto the front of his barrel, it almost looked like he just fired, or he's firing a laser or something. Like it's just coming out of the barrel. And I really think it looks good. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap up this episode for today. That was Megatron I just showed you. Megatron and his two little Minicons. And they will all be making an appearance in my stop-motion series once I get everything set up to get started. But for now, I want to thank you all very much for watching. And goodbye, everyone. Roll out.